Hi, this is Dawn of StampTillDawn.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make this card using texture paste. So the things that you'll need is I'm using Ranger Opaque Matte Texture Paste, and it comes in this 3.9 ounce jar, or you can also get it in a package that has 3 different kinds. So it has the opaque and the transparent matte and transparent gloss. So if you're just starting out and you want to try multiple, this is a great thing to get. We have it in our catalog. Or you can get a larger thing like this. It goes a long way. I also cut my stencil out from the matte stencil film. There we go. The glare is kind of bad on all this kind of stuff. And I cut out a few things that I'm going to be putting on my card from the Close to My Heart Flower Market cartridge. So this is from Flower Market. And this hello is, and this was from the art booking cartridge. It's one of the backgrounds in there. And then I've got some gems. I'm also using a gold shimmer brush, the dual action glue pen from Close to My Heart, and I think that's, oh, and the Sugar Plum pigment ink pad. Okay, so let's get going. I move a few things out of my way. I have my all-purpose mat underneath me instead of my black mat that I typically use, and that's because we're going to actually go onto the mat, and it makes it real easy to clean up. So I've got my card base here, and I'm going to put my stencil on top, and I'm just laying it on there. I'm not paying attention to how it's on there or anything. And then I'm getting my pigment stamp pad. Now this is the Sugar Plum, which is the color of the year in 1819. And you don't need very much ink. I just tab my sponge on there and just kind of spread out some ink on here. And you can do it as light or as dark as you'd like. I kind of like to do some light areas and some dark areas just to kind of give some texture to my card. So there we go. Got that on there. Now, for the look that I'm doing, I'm not going to clean my stencil because I kind of like that it's going to pick up some of this ink on there. And because it's a pigment ink, it's still wet. So I'm going to lay my stencil down, again, just random. I don't want it to line up with the part that was on there before. And I am going to grab one. I was using this, I didn't clean it. Right off camera, I have a little vat of water because when you're using embossing paste, you want to quickly put your tools in there and your stencil so that it makes it clean up easier later. You don't want it to dry on there, then you'll be chipping it off. And so I'm getting some embossing paste. It's really creamy. It's kind of fun. And the first tip I want to show you is your tendency would be to scoop it up like this into the I don't know what that would be called, but that part of the spoon. But I found it's better to do the back of it and grab just a little bit of paste. And see, I'm not even using very much. And now I'm going to spread my paste onto here. And since it's white paste on a pretty white card, you probably can't really see it very much, but I'm just spreading it around. And if you have extra and it's not pink, so this one's a little bit pink from picking up the color on there, so I'm going to just try and use it up. But if it was white, you could scrape it right back into your jar. So there we go. I'm going to lift that off. Now if I want to use the rest of this, I can put it right here on my all-purpose mat and then use it on the next card if I'm doing a similar card. So now I'm going to drop my mat. I just, like I said, have a little vat of water right here off camera. Drop that in there and drop my tool in there. Close up my texture paste. And my stamp pad, get them out of my way. And while this is drying, I'm going to talk to you about some of the other elements I have on there. Okay, move that off camera. So I cut hello 3 different times on my Cricut. So I did it once in gold and 2 more times in white. And that's just so that I can make a thicker element. So I'm going to go ahead and take my glue pen here and put a little glue on this white one. It doesn't have to be perfect. Run it across there, put another white one on top. Whoops. And the reason I'm using this instead of tape runner is it has a little forgiveness in it, so I can kind of scooch it around and get them lined up before it actually dries. So this makes it easier. So wet glue, you could use liquid glass as well. I'm going to wipe this off. I love this mat because I can just wipe off the glue and that way I don't accidentally get it on something else. So again, I'll put some glue on. I just tapped it to get a little more glue to come down in there. Put the glue on the white here. And then I'll put my gold one on top. Now I'm lining mine up perfectly, or trying to. Who's ever perfect, right? But you can also offset them a little bit, and that's kind of another fun look. It does give it some dimension. So now I've got my nice thicker hello. It'll stand up off my card. Now this is still drying a little bit, this one I did. So I had done one before we started the video. So I'm going to pull my my dry one out. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach it to my card base. So this is white on white. And it just, whenever I see everybody else do white on white, I just think it looks gorgeous. And then I try to do it and I'm like, oh, it looks like it needs something. It's so funny how critical we are of our own work. So I'm just putting it on there, put it onto the card base. And now I'm going to take my flower. I think it's one of those ones where you blow on it and all the things go away, whatever those are called. And I'm going to use, again, my glue pen. And here's the cool thing about our paper. This is sugar plum paper, and it's darker on one side and light on the other side. So you can put it on your card and decide if you want the dark, whoops, it stuck to my finger. If you want the dark one to show or the light one to show. This is the dark. I like the dark on this particular one. So I'm going to go ahead and put my glue onto the light side. And just add my element on there. Push it down. You know what's really nice for this, like especially if you have stuff on your fingers, is my good old rubber brayer. I always like doing that. It really gets it to push down and adhere well. And then, let's see, I'll put my hello. I like it right there. So let me put some glue on hello. You do kind of have to work quick sometimes because this glue does set up pretty fast. So sometimes you have to work a little quick. And same thing, you can bring your brayer in here, push it down, gets it to really stick on there. And then I'm going to take my poker, I call it the poker tool, now I can't think of what it's really called, paper piercer, and pick up a gem from here. Oh, it stuck to my finger instead of the paper piercer. And just put a little gem on there. So I've got the gold in there. And usually you want to do things in three. So I've got gold here, gold here. I could put another gem on here somewhere. But what I thought would be fun is to use my shimmer brush. And this probably isn't going to show up on camera very well. It's a really subtle look. But I'm just going to go around this border here on my card. So it's the white card base before it gets to the white portion of matte that I put on top. I'm just going to go ahead and do a little bit on here. And I might, what I do, because it's fun, so you can get one layer like this, and it's real subtle. See, I don't know if the camera will pick it up. It's hard for me to tell if you can see that. But it's a subtle look. But what you can do if you're doing this is, this one I did before, I can even go back in when it's dry and do another layer of it. So you can put more and more on there till it gets the effect that you're looking for. You do just want to let it dry because it is pretty wet coming out of there. You'll warp your card, and sometimes it seems like you put more on and it takes it off because it's wet. So let it dry between coats when you do that. I'm not sure if you can tell. So that's our quick and easy card using embossing paste. I have a few more that I'll be sharing. I'm going to film a couple today and then spread them out as I post them. See you soon.